Hello and welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with previous day question. Consider the following statements regarding the Samarth Incubation Program. The program is implemented by the Center for Development of Telematics in collaboration with the Software Technology Parks of India. It aims to support DPIIT recognized startups working on emerging technologies like 5G, 6G, AI, IoT, quantum technologies and cyber security. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. The correct answer is option C. The Center for Development of Telematics has launched the Samarth Incubation Program to foster innovation in telecom and IT sectors by startup collaboration and attracting investments. It is implemented in partnership with Software Technology Parks of India under MEITY. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Samarth program, it aims to support DPIIT recognized startups developing next generation technologies in telecom software, cyber security, 5G, 6G, AI, IoT and quantum technologies. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It will provide sustainable and scalable business models, cutting edge resources and facilitate startup growth from ideation to commercialization. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Drishti IAS in Noida, IAS GS Foundation Prelims Plus Means course offline batch. English medium batch is starting from 7th of May, while Hindi medium batch is starting from 29th of April. For more information, give us a call at 87501. Let's begin with today's session. Consider the following statements regarding the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. IMEC was launched at the G20 Summit 2023 with signatories including India, US, Saudi Arabia, UAE, France, Germany, Italy and European Union. IMEC is a part of the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment launched by the G7. IMEC will consist solely of ship-to-rail network-based transport routes. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none. The correct answer is option B. India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. The IMEC is a strategic multimodal connectivity initiative launched through a Memorandum of Understanding during the G20 Summit 2023 in New Delhi. Signatories include India, US, Saudi Arabia, UAE, France, Germany, Italy and the European Union. Hence, statement 1 is correct. IMEC is part of the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment launched by the G7 in 2021. Hence, statement 2 is correct. IMEC aims to develop an integrated network of ports, railways, roads, sea lines, energy pipelines and digital infrastructure aimed at enhancing trade between India, Middle East and Europe. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements. The committee was constituted to examine and recommend reforms on center-state relations. The committee observed that the Indian Constitution, though federal in form, functioned in a unitary manner. The committee recommended that Article 356 should be abolished. Which of the committees made the recommendations mentioned above? Rajamannar Committee, Administrative Reforms Commission, Sarkaria Commission or Punchi Commission? The correct answer is option A. The Rajamannar Committee was constituted to review center-state relations which criticized the growing centralization of power that undermined state autonomy. The committee called for strengthening the Interstate Council to restore federal balance. Though the constitution appeared federal, the committee said it functioned unilaterally, turning states into administrative arm of the center. It flagged Article 256, states must comply with laws made by Parliament. 257 allows Union to direct states in certain cases. 365 and 356 for enabling undue center control. The committee recommended that Article 356 should be abolished. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next, with reference to the Registrar General of India, consider the following statements. The RGI, established under the Ministry of Home Affairs, is responsible for overseeing the decennial census and the linguistic survey of India. It maintains the National Population Register to record demographic details of all usual residents. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. The correct answer is option C. Registrar General of India. The RGI, established in 1949 under the Ministry of Home Affairs, is responsible for overseeing population data collection including the decennial census of India and the linguistic survey of India. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The RGI ensures the implementation of RBD Act 1969 and manages the civil registration system for continuous birth and death registration. It also maintains the National Population Register to record demographic details of all usual residents. Hence, statement 2 is correct. RGI is headed by a senior civil servant, typically of Joint Secretary rank, The RGI plays a crucial role in demographic planning and policy formulation, hence option C is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding the Chief Justice of India. The Constitution mandates that the President appoint the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court as the Chief Justice of India as per Article 124 Clause 2. The CJI can be removed from office only by the President upon the adoption of a special majority resolution in both houses of Parliament. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. The correct answer is option B. A Supreme Court judge, including the CJI, is appointed by the President under Article 124 Clause 2. The senior-most judge is designated as CJI based on length of service. It is customary practice, not a legal requirement, hence statement 1 is not correct. To qualify as CJI, one must be a citizen of India, have served as a High Court judge for 5 years or as an advocate for 10 years, or be a distinguished jurist in the President's opinion. The CJI can only be removed by the President after an address by Parliament supported by a special majority in both houses. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding Leptobrachium eretrium. It was recently discovered in the Garbhanga Reserve Forest situated in Guwahati, Assam. The species is noted for distinctive features including fiery orange and black eyes, a unique reticulated throat pattern, and a smooth rheumatic call at dusk. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. The correct answer is option C, Leptobrachium eretrium. It has been identified in the Garbhanga Reserve Forest situated on the southwestern side of Guwahati, Assam. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The species is noted for distinctive features including fiery orange and black eyes, a unique reticulated throat pattern, and a smooth rictum call at dusk. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The frog was first identified in 2004 as Leptobrachium smithii, but recent molecular and morphological studies confirmed it as a new species. The genus Leptobrachium, consisting of 38 species of stocky frogs with broad heads, short hind limbs, and distinctively colored eyes, is found across southern China, India, and Sudan Shelf and the Philippines. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next, the Global Trade Outlook and Statistics report is published by the World Economic Forum, United Nations Trade and Development, World Bank, or World Trade Organization. The correct answer is option D. The Global Trade Outlook and Statistics report by the World Trade Organization analyzes the state and future projections of global trade, covering merchandise and services trade trends and key risks impacting trade. Global Trade Outlook and Statistics 2025 reveals a 0.2% decline in global merchandise trade, primarily due to escalating trade tensions, particularly between the US and China. However, the services trade is projected to grow modestly by 4%. The WTO, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, was established in 1995 under the Marrakesh Agreement, succeeding the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. The WTO's key reports include the World Trade Report, Global Trade Outlook and Statistics, and Aid for Trade in Action. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding Banarasi Shehnai. It is rooted in the Banaras Gharana of Indian classical music. Ustad Bismillah Khan popularized it with his performance at the Red Fort on India's first Independence Day. The Banarasi Shehnai has been granted the geographical indication tag. Which of the statements is or are correct? One only, one and two only, two and three only, one, two and three. The correct answer is option D. Banarasi Shehnai is a traditional wind instrument deeply rooted in the Banaras Gharana of Indian classical music. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It gained national prominence through Ustad Bismillah Khan, who famously played the Shehnai at the Red Fort on India's first Independence Day. Hence, statement 2 is correct. He elevated the Shehnai to prominence in Indian classical music with his performance at the Calcutta All India Music Conference in 1937. Varanasi's rich culture and craft heritage gained national recognition as the Banarasi Shehnai was granted geographical indication tag. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Next, in which of the following landmark cases did the Supreme Court decriminalize homosexuality by reading down Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code? Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation, National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, Puttaswamy case, or Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India. The correct answer is option D. Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation 2013. The SC reversed the Delhi High Court's 2009 decision that decriminalized homosexuality under Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code. National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India 2014. The SC affirmed the right of individuals to self-identify their gender, acknowledging that gender identity goes beyond biological sex and includes the right to be recognized as male, female, or transgender. Puttaswamy case 2017. The court's affirmation of the right to privacy included sexual orientation as a fundamental right, emphasizing that discrimination based on sexual orientation violates human dignity and equality. Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India 2018. The SC decriminalized homosexuality by reading down Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code, now Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which had previously criminalized consensual same-sex relations. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Next, consider the following cyber threats and their descriptions. Phishing, attempt to obtain sensitive information by disguising as a trustworthy entity. Ransomware, malware that locks or encrypts files and demands payment for release. Denial of service, a scam email promising lottery winnings. SQL injection, exploiting vulnerabilities in a database query to gain unauthorized access. Which of the descriptions given above is or are correct? 1, 2 and 4 only, 1, 3 and 4 only, 2, 3 and 4 only, or 1, 2, 3 and 4? The correct answer is option A. Phishing is a form of cyber attack where the attacker pretends to be a legitimate or trusted entity such as a bank, email service, or company in order to trick individuals into revealing personal information like passwords, credit card numbers, or login credentials. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Ransomware is a type of malicious software that encrypts the victim's files or locks their system. The attacker then demands a ransom to restore access. Hence, statement 2 is correct. A denial of service attack is not a scam email. It is a cyber attack intended to make a computer or network resource unavailable to its intended users by overwhelming it with traffic. DOS flooding, a system with excessive requests to crash or slow it down. Hence, option C is not correct. SQL injection is a code injection technique used to attack data-driven applications. In this, malicious SQL statements are inserted into an entry field to gain unauthorized access to manipulate a database. It can bypass login credentials or even extract entire database. Hence, statement 4 is correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding vehicle-to-grid technology. Vehicle-to-grid technology enables electric vehicle batteries to both charge from and supply power back to the grid through bidirectional charging. India is a global leader in V2G adoption, with EV owners being compensated for supplying power to the grid during peak demand. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. Vehicle-to-grid technology allows electric vehicle batteries to both draw power from and supply power back to the grid through bidirectional charging. This feature helps in optimizing energy distribution and can assist in stabilizing the grid during peak demand periods. Hence, statement 1 is correct. India is not yet a global leader in its adoption. It is still in the early stages with pilot projects and limited implementation. EV owners in India are not yet widely compensated for supplying power back to the grid, as the infrastructure and regulatory framework for such compensation are not fully developed. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements. The Constitution explicitly lays down the procedure for the appointment of the Chief Minister. Article 164 of the Constitution states that the Chief Minister shall be appointed by the Governor. The Constitution does not mandate proving majority in the Assembly before appointing a Chief Minister. How many of the above statement is or are not correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. Send the answer of this question in the comments below. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.